Hi, welcome to Laid Back Learning and Living. I'm Heather. Today, I'm going to show you how I take a bunch of scrambled eggs that I made over the weekend and turn them into breakfast burritos to be used throughout the week. I showed you on a previous video that we'll link down below how I make a bunch of scrambled eggs, a bunch of pancakes. That way we can then use the leftovers and I can turn them into other breakfasts or just use them straight out during our weekdays to make the mornings go a little bit smoother. Let's get started here. All right, I have my scrambled eggs here of what was left after we ate breakfast on Sunday, and we're not going to use all of them in the breakfast burritos. We're probably going to use about half of it. And then the other half, I'm going to take and store in these glass containers and just stick it in the fridge. And then I can just easily warm up some scrambled eggs to serve on the side of a bagel or another pancake if we had any of those left. Whatever the kids like, it just gives them an extra option for protein and I don't have to get a pan out and cook anything. So let's get started on the breakfast burritos. So you're gonna need a flour tortilla. I have large ones here right now, but we've also used a little bit smaller ones. But honestly, these are for my husband who's obsessed with breakfast burritos. So the bigger, the better. All right, and I'm just gonna put on about a spoonful, maybe a little bit more of the eggs. I have some Mexican rice here that I had made up and we didn't use all of it. So I just stuck it in a Ziploc bag and I just put it into the fridge to be used today. But when we finish up, whatever's left of the rice, I'm just gonna stick in that Ziploc bag and then stick it into the freezer. And then next week when I go to make these again, I don't have to make that rice at all. And it comes out perfect. I'll just dump it on frozen. It's not a problem. All right, and then we're gonna get out one of our sausages. My husband loves spice, so we're gonna add in some of these Evergold hot link sausages that I pick up at Costco. It comes in a 3-pack, and I will just stick them into the freezer. Any that we haven't finished up. So we're just gonna dice up our sausage. And this will make it so then we can just throw in little pieces into each one. And it makes it really quick and easy. I'm not worried about pre-cooking anything. These are already cooked through. So when they do get warmed up, when he goes to eat them, it's ready to go. And then we'll add on a sprinkling of cheese. And in these, you could easily add in maybe some sauteed onions and peppers, or change up your meat and do maybe some chorizo or even bacon. So you just fold in the two sides. I'm gonna fold it over one more time and roll it up. And then again, I have one of the glass storage containers and I just stack them in here. I can usually get 4 burritos in. So he's covered for at least a few days of breakfast, depending on if I have one or maybe one of the kids has one. But when we go to warm them up, we can just stick them into the microwave for about a minute, minute and a half in our microwave. And they come out perfect, and then just serve it with some salsa on the side. And this is a quick way to just use a few extra minutes when you had everything out on the weekend, and it makes it so during the weekdays you have very little time spent on making a good hot breakfast. All right, get a scoop of eggs, a couple more. We don't want to be stingy here. All right, some of that sausage. And a little bit of cheese. And then fold in the sides, bring it back, and then tuck in those corners again so it stays nice and compact. And then looks like we can get one more in here. Last little scoop of eggs. And one more scoop of the rice. And a little sprinkling of cheese. Like I said, these are super versatile, so you can change it up to however you like it. And because I didn't cook the eggs too long when they're getting reheated, a second time around, they don't turn too rubbery. They keep a nice texture. And then I just seal up and stick it in the fridge. And it makes it super simple and easy to be able just to grab the breakfast burrito out, throw it on a plate, and breakfast is done in a minute. You can, if you want, warm it up on the stove, and that would just take a little bit longer. Maybe throw a little butter into a pan and you could fry it up on each side and kind of crisp up that tortilla, which is always super yummy. So for the leftover eggs, I am just going to stick them into this glass container, and that will give us another breakfast with everybody having some scrambled eggs to go along with whatever other breakfast item they've chosen. And then on these hot links, because I only used one to be able to make those 4, I'm just going to quickly dice them up now. And then I will stick those into a zip top bag and just label it and stick it into the freezer. And again, same thing. Now next week when I come to make these breakfast burritos again, because they are highly requested, all I have to do is grab out the frozen ingredients and throw them in with my already cooked eggs, and then they'll de-thaw in the fridge while they're sitting there waiting to be used, and then everything will get nicely heated up on the day when we warm up the actual breakfast burrito. And so this only takes just a couple minutes to do, especially because I've already had the eggs out and I already had some of the rice pre-made. So it's a great way to use leftovers and maximize it so you're not wasting anything. And then I'll just grab my zip top bag here and we'll label it hot links. And then since we're here, we'll just put in Mexican rice. And then I will just fill up my bags, and they don't freeze together. Everything, I just kind of lay it flat in the bag, and so it freezes individually. It won't be a giant ice chunk. So I can easily just grab out a couple next week when I'm ready to make up some more. Just get out the air, because air is our enemy in the freezer. And then I just kind of squish it out and lay it nice and flat. And it's ready to go. And then same thing with the rice. I'll just fill it into the bag. And the rice freezes really well. And it just makes it super simple to make up the following weeks. You have the ingredients already prepped and ready to go. Again, just kind of get the air out, seal it up, and you just want to make it nice and flat, and that will keep the individual grains of rice from sticking into a giant chunk. All right. I hope this simple way of taking some ingredients that you may have already made, maybe some of the Mexican rice that you might have had earlier in the week, or maybe that you had used and frozen, like I suggested, and those extra scrambled eggs. Hope you're able to use that and see that you can turn those leftovers into something new and make your mornings run a lot smoother. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Okay, well, apparently I love these so much that I'm gonna treat them like gold. Instead, it's ever good, because they are good every single time that you get them.
Where's the laugh? Where's the laugh?
Ha!
Okay.
All right. Hey, quiet. The eggs that I... Yes, yes, yes.
Work it out.